I'm awesome. Thank you so much. A little bit early here in Western Australia, but it's awesome. And thank you so much for having me on.
Yay. So just after 7 for you in the morning?
Yes.
Excellent. You look fabulous for this time of the morning.
Well, I already had to get up and drive my partner. He's going away to work today. So I had to get up at stupid o'clock and drive him there. So,
so it's a big day already.
Time to fix myself.
Yeah. Well, very good. So, Carmel, I'm super excited about our topic today. So talking about short form video, and yes, we know that it's massively trending. But before we get stuck into that, I think what's really interesting, and obviously we've chatted before on a couple of different podcasts and, you know, in different ways and things. And of course, we know each other through Positive Passionate Business Women Networking Group. Yeah. So we know that we have quite similar backgrounds in terms of media and particularly around video.
Yeah.
So what I think is so fascinating is, like, my experience with video is even just me growing up with my dad being a film producer and a big old giant wooden tripod, for example, and heavy camera, and always needing to have a sound guy along with him, you know, and so very different days to these days, just having a mobile phone and do anything you like. So, and of course, then instantly put it up, you know, and suddenly everyone can watch it, or even going live, you know, and all of this.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. We're out there. So I think what's so fascinating is watching how it's evolved through time. So tell me a little bit about what you think about the way it's evolved, and do you think it's actually a great thing?
Well, to answer the last part of the question, first is yes. I do think it's a great thing. Look, I didn't have your background of filming. In actual fact, I was the person that used to hide from a camera or a video. When I got married many years ago in 1987, I think, I remember my mom being hyper concerned of how are you going to be in the photos because you hide from the camera all the time. So I was the opposite to you. I had no experience in that. My intro into the now video was around marketing. I was like doing marketing, and video just kept coming up. And it's a really great way to be able to connect with people on a different level. I talk about moving stories. So it's not just a moving story as in it's a movie that moves. It's a moving story that brings you on an emotional roller coaster. And when people can, like this, people can see us, they can almost feel us, they can see our sense of humor. It actually deepens the level of trust that somebody has with you. So I think it's great. And I don't think it's going to die off in anytime soon. And in actual fact, I think if you're not using video within your business, you're already falling behind.
I 100% agree with you there. It's a really, and Instagram have stated at the end of last year that 2022 was going to be the year for video. Yes. So, and they're prioritizing video in the feed. Everything about video is, so you're right. If you're not doing video right now, you're definitely getting left behind. I feel a little bit differently about video being a great thing though. So yes, I think it's great for business, etc. But what I'm finding is sometimes I'm a little bit, I don't know if overwhelm's the right word, but certainly over it in terms of people sharing their every part of their lives of video. And do we need to see everybody's lives all the time? So, a lot of people go for their morning walk and film themselves as they go walking. So I go for a morning walk and I love looking at whatever's out there or listening to a podcast. And I'm not saying it's wrong to film yourself, but then you notice that there might be doing something with a family, but we're videoing it, or we might be catching up with a friend and we're videoing it. And it's, so initially it was all about the selfies, wasn't it? And now it's to video. So I find definitely it's a cluttered space in terms of people, in my view, oversharing. What do you think about that?
Oh, look, and I'm laughing because the person that at times I've done a walk and talk, but it's usually if I'm inspired while I'm walking and go, oh, this would be great. And I have done it. But I get what you mean. And also I think people need to be aware of the highlight reel. They're seeing all the great things people are doing and this, that, the other. It's like, that's not always real. And the danger is to compare yourself, that comparinitis, is that the word? Comparing yourself to somebody else. Sometimes I'll go out in the garden because we have turkeys and geese and all sorts of everything. Because people seem to be fascinated with my garden and do that sort of thing. But you're right, I get a little bit camera shy, if you like, and go, I'm having a great time. No, I don't need to put this all over social media or whatever. It doesn't have to be that. Like you, I don't say it's wrong, but I kind of question if we're actually stopping and being, because all of this rush and overwhelm and do this, do that, do the other, can be quite detrimental to somebody, because if they're not doing that, they feel they're not doing enough and they're pushing themselves even more. And it's actually not true. So yeah, I absolutely get what you're saying. And yeah, I had a fall a couple of weeks ago while I was out walking, and it kind of reminded me, do not be on your phone when you're walking. So yeah.
That's so true. I have a client who's got a tween and teen business, and I was writing a blog for her the other day, and it was all around, mental health and how to help your kids stay positive and all that. And when I was researching it, so much came back to those highlights that you see on social media and how damaging it is for them, but also for us as adults too. In fact, Carly Nimmo, who's this amazing podcaster, and her account is Carlosophies. She just wrote a really fabulous post on Instagram yesterday all about that exact topic, about watching people's highlights, particularly in video. And there they are at these extraordinary business retreats in the tropics, or there they are on these really magical family holidays for 3 months around Europe or whatever. And what she was reminding us all is that you only see those good bits. You don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, the fighting and the grumping and the tired feet.
Don't you talk to me like that. Hi, I'm having a holiday. And that's haven't we done it ourselves on occasion? Put a big smiley selfie up and you're going, oh my God, I want to kill you. You're doing it wrong.
We just had done it. I did exactly that the other day. Not a video, but a photo. I was in Byron. We just lived 10 minutes down the road. And so we'd gone down there, my husband and I, for a little prawn and oyster picnic on the beach. Well, above the beach, because he's in a wheelchair, can't get on the beach. Anyway, so we weren't arguing or anything, but I was certainly grumping about this thing with the people and that person littering and blah, blah, blah. And as we were leaving, I went, oh, quick, let's just get a quick photo. So miles up, here we go. I was like, that's not very real, is it?
Yeah. But that's it. And, it makes you wonder sometimes then as to how healthy it is on a mental health side to be in that constant comparing yourself about, oh my God, there must be something wrong with me if I'm not going live every 5 minutes, if I'm not putting a video up. Is my life that boring because I'm not? I love metaphors. So, I can find a metaphor about a turkey that associates with your business. I've done it before. But some people are going, no, I can't think of an idea. And it puts unneeded stress on people. And that's why I like, both you and I agree, you don't have to dance on social media. You don't have to do whatever to actually get your message across. There's other ways around it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I have to say, I absolutely love your garden videos. I really, really do. And it reminded me that when you were saying that about a client of mine who lives out on a farm in the middle of, I was going to say wop wop, but I don't think that's quite right. But anyway, she lives on a very big farm way out in central New South Wales. And I keep saying to her, you've got to put more video out there of the amazing things that happen on your farm, because her business is actually helmet brims. So she makes these shade helmet brims that attach to your horse riding helmet.
Right. Yeah.
In effect, life on the farm actually is about her business, isn't it? Because she's got the horses and she's got the cows and she's got the whole thing. So when we feel like we're a little bit part of that, I think that's really special.
Yeah. And that's one of the behind the scenes. Like to me, I'm kind of going, chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, it's normal. It's everything. Every time I go out, this turkey is going and showing me his backside, basically. But to me, it's just normal. But other people go, oh my God, I'm so fascinated by your stuff. And I'm going, but it's nothing to do with my business. And it's more about building, I guess, that people get to know you, because when they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they're more inclined to want to work with you.
Totally. I'm teaching a workshop at 10 o'clock today, actually, or running one. And
I know, I couldn't go.
Well, the know, like, and trust factor is a big part of that today.
Yes,
so, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's so important. And often people say to me, but how much should I share? And so I have a little analogy, which is that how much would you share when you're sitting next to a stranger on a long haul flight? So you might share a little snippet of what's going on behind the scenes, what you're heading off to do, maybe a little bit about your family or something, but you wouldn't say, you know, how many times you go to the toilet in a day, or, you know, that kind of stuff. So I always think that's a good one. So often if I'm thinking about posting or helping a client with the personal side of their posting, I'm like, would you say that to a stranger sitting beside you? You know?
So, I use it slightly different. I always go, what would you not care that was on or went viral or was on your Facebook feed or whatever for the rest of your life?
Yeah, that's a good
because I remember when Snapchat came out years ago, it was all about, these 10 and 20-second things, and then they disappear. And I always remember saying, nothing ever disappears, darling. Nothing ever disappears. I don't care what you say. So what would you not be embarrassed about or, you know, upset about or whatever, being there as your highlight reel for the rest of your life?
And I love those memes that go around where it says, so grateful not to have been brought up in the 2000s, for example. So grateful that when we grew up, there was no recording of any of that. That's a relief. That's a big relief.
There could be big trouble, because you can't turn around and say, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. It's on film.
So me at 20 would have been very happy to put a whole lot of stuff out there if that had been possible. Compared to me at 40, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing?
True.
Yeah, we change and we evolve, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. And at this stage, when I'm making videos, that I say I don't care, but I mean that in a respectful way. Like, it's nothing that would ever come back and bite me in the backside or that I'd be embarrassed about. I might say, oh my God, I wasn't very good at that part, you know, but it's nothing that is detrimental or dreadful.
Yeah. I think another thing, just before we move on and chat about actual reels, is another thing is about your family and privacy. So I'm quite conscious of when I'm seeing people doing lives, for example, or people that are using their children as influencers and stuff like that, when the families or the children don't have a say. Or I've heard a lot of people say, actually, my kids love it. They love it so much. They love posing. They love this. They love the free stuff. And it's like, but
is that real?
And they're kids.
Life?
They're kids. So what happens when they're older and go, actually, I don't like that my tantrums were shown on video and got a lot of millions of likes.
Or actually, why am I dancing on video and nobody's giving me free stuff still? What the hell's going on? But it certainly is. I can see it becoming something long term, those types of videos, the dancing on and exposing your family, being something that people will look back on and go, oh, this caused a lot of mental health issues. This caused a lot of different kind of psychological effects. For sure.
It'll be very interesting to watch all that unfold, I'm sure. So as most of us know, that Reels on Instagram and Facebook, of course, now too, came about from TikTok and those viral little funny videos and dancing challenges and all kinds of things. So I certainly enjoy watching some of those things, but I absolutely cringe at the idea of being in them. So I think for a lot of us, looking at Reels evolving in the early days was like, hell no. I'm not lip syncing. I'm not jumping in and out of things and doing these special effects and dance challenges and stuff, because I'm actually busy. So if I do those things and they take up, like, I know there's someone who's a social, marketer, says that she spends one day every week creating her reels. So I don't actually have an extra day to create reels. And the bigger question I had to ask myself was, if I did those kind of videos and got really out of my comfort zone, would I actually be able to reach my audience better? Would I actually be finding the people that I want to be working with. So probably not. So what do you think about that?
Well, I have a rule with any video I make for any purpose. And before I start making a video, it's always, what purpose am I making this video for? So look, to me, reels, of course, we have to keep up with the trends and the passions and the bit, but I think there's better ways of doing things. I think reels and shorts, of course, on YouTube as well, and now Facebook, and poor LinkedIn is kind of flumping along behind, but even it's got video coming in as well. I think, and you and I both see, there's different ways of doing the reels and fitting into that genre, that little box, without having to stand in front of it. And you're right, I'd be like, oh my God, I've seen some people making reels where they're going, right, just move that 1 inch, and then they do a little bit, then move it another inch, and I'm going, holy sweet Lord, please, no, like you, I don't have and do you know what, it's not even I don't have an extra day, I don't want to have an extra day just to do that.
Yeah,
you know, it's
really
just,
good point.
And I really don't know, to me, reels are more of an awareness.
Yeah,
they bring a bit more of awareness to your brand and that sort of thing. And yes, some of them are funny, but do they, it's like likes and love hearts, do they pay the bills? And in my book, I don't think they do.
It's interesting, isn't it? And I think it definitely depends on who is your audience.
Yes,
so
yes.
For me personally, that's not, I don't need to be doing that stuff. And what I've found, so I was late to the reels party, but I really needed to wait and see, how can I best do it for my business? And also, how can I help my clients do it in a way that feels comfortable for them? And as we said, that's not lip syncing and dancing, etc. So how could we do it? So hence video platforms that came in for both you and I, and finding ways that we could reach audience, you know, our audiences doing reels that way. And we've found some really great success and be doing lots of different types of testing of things. But certainly those how-tos and those, you know, like little tips and reels have been really, really great. So, and definitely, you know, showing some behind the scenes. We've got a client who's a manufacturer locally here in Australia. And so we've done some reels with some of their, you know, where they're making soap or making.
That's right. I think I saw one of those.
And they're fun, you know, they're interesting to watch because you don't get a chance to see that kind of thing otherwise.
No, absolutely. And look, it's really, you know, you're talking about 30 to 90 seconds at a push.
Yeah.
When you think of that's gone like this, you know what I mean? It just disappears. And I did one the other day, actually, about videos, like how to add sound to a video. And just went click, 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 click. I actually did it on my phone. I went click, click, click on the screen and put it up. And you're right. More than the video, it's the message underneath it that is really important. And if it's a value to the person consuming it, to your ideal client, that's where they're going to watch it. So if people, like I actually, one of the first comments I got from that reel was, God, that looks really easy. And I go, yeah, it is.
Brilliant.
Because I made it look easy. I think there's a question coming in there.
So you're giving value to the right people, you know, that
that's it.
Your audience is seeing it. What I absolutely love about reels, and this is blowing my mind, is that we all know the algorithm is just getting tougher and trickier to reach even your audience that you have, like even the followers that are choosing to follow you.
Yeah.
So it's something like 3% of your followers that actually see you, which is, you know, clearly not ideal. So, you know, then they want us to spend money and But Reels has absolutely changed the game.
Yes.
So the amount of people you can reach. So what I think is really cool is that as I'm going through my, for example, Instagram feed, and I'm scrolling down, by the third or the fourth post, straight away, I'll have seen a reel. Then I click on that reel and instantly I'm in the Reels feed. And then I get to see one after another. And generally speaking, they're not anybody that I follow. But what I also really like when I'm just in the news feed is I'll see a reel and it will say, because you watched this business's reel, showing you this one. And I'm like, wow, never before have we had that. So that's why we can't not be doing reels at this point, because never before have we been able to reach new audiences that are potentially our ideal people ever before.
Yeah. Look, absolutely, I agree. There's kind of two sides of the coin, isn't there? There's the one where you're reaching the people, and there's the other one when you are the consumer, and it's like a half an hour or an hour can disappear pretty quick. It's like, how many reels did I want? But you're absolutely right. And whatever way we can, look, some people will tell you, for example, email is dead. Other people say, no, no, no. If you talk to Frank Kern, he's gone, no, email is not dead. It depends wholly 1,000,000% on your ideal client, your audience, and how they consume information best. And if that is quick and easy, information, which more people are, look at this, the last 2.5, 3 years, if nothing else, it has pushed people online that previously weren't onto these kind of platforms and everything. So people are a lot more comfortable with video, and they're also a lot more comfortable with getting easy, quick answers. Really, you just have to go on Google for something. So it's getting more and more easy. So if you can have some kind of novelty, and that I think is where the reels come in. It's quick, easy, digestible information. Yes, I want to know within 30 seconds, I'll just flick off it. Yeah, I think it is a huge opportunity. You think you were late coming to reels. I came after you. You taught me most of the stuff I know. I was like, no, I don't want to look at that stuff. And then I went, Carmel, if you teach a video, you're going to have to.
Yeah, it's a thing, isn't it? So I knew basically for me, it was knowing I had to, but knowing I couldn't unless I felt super comfortable with it.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell me, what platforms do you like to use to make your reels? Or your short videos anyway?
Yeah, I use one called Nvidia, which I think you use as well. I also have used CapCut, which is one that you introduced me to. And Nvidia have a phone side of it called Filmer, which is another one. There was a few bugs in it, but it's definitely, and depends on what I'm doing. If I'm making some longer content, then I'll hop into DaVinci Pro, or I'll hop into Camtasia or something like that. I have used Doodly, and I've also used Canva video in there as well. So there's lots of, and there's more and more coming out, which always tells you that there's a demand there. You can't keep up with the amount of freaking stuff that's coming out. So you choose 1, 2, or maybe even 3 that you're comfortable with. And I'm sure you notice this as well, Kylie, they're mostly kind of skills that are transferable. If you can use, like in video is what I teach a lot of my members, because the skills there are transferable onto CapCut or onto Filmer or onto Camtasia about, how you slice and dice and edit and whatever. So it's not as daunting as you first think, and it's getting easier and easier. Like all you need, as you said, is one of these, and you can do some amazing stuff. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I also use Nvidia, and what I love about it is the setting up of the brand kit. So just like you would on Canva. So and also I use Wave too, which is very similar.
Yeah.
And so there we've got our colors already there, our fonts already there, etc. So we're really able to stay on brand, and so then we're more recognizable and memorable, etc. So I think that's a really cool thing. But we use Canva a lot for making reels. Yeah. And what's cool about Canva is clearly you can do everything else in there too, but they're always striving for better. So when they first introduced video, it was pretty basic, and it's really come such a long way, and it will more and more and more, I'm sure. But you mentioned before about the app CapCut, and I have to say it was one of my team that introduced me to it, and honestly, I think it's great. It's so easy, it's so fun. So I'd say for the more in-depth reels that we're making, or when we're trying to put a bit more into it, then Canva or Nvidia, all of that's good. But it all takes a whole lot more time. CapCut, I'm getting tongue twisted. CapCut is so quick. It's just, and what I love is, just grab a few photos, boom, 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 put some great little transitions in there, put some great little style effects, and off you go. So that's
absolutely. You introduced it to me, and I was like, oh my God. The one thing, just to get back to InVideo, the one thing that really makes the difference to InVideo and why I spook it, if you like, so much is I talk a lot to my clients about their message. The fact that you can put your script into in video and it starts an actual framework of a video for you, I love that. I don't know any other one that you can do.
I agree. Yeah. I've been working lately. So I met Nvidia, or the Nvidia guys, at Social Media Marketing World in 2020 in the States. And that was very exciting because they're in person. Then, so signed up and all of that. Their customer service is extraordinary. I had
absolutely.
I was making a video super late at night and I was so frustrated with what I could not do. So I was in the chat with them. So that was great. Then all of a sudden the dude says, do you want to just jump on a Zoom with me and I can help you through it? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
How often do you get that kind of support?
And that has only improved, I have to say. I've been teaching it sometimes to some of our members and come across something that I didn't know the answer to, and I just chat in the box and I get the answer live while I'm there.
So good. I just love them. And one thing that I really love about their feature that I learned back then in person, when I met them, was about that bringing your blog in, and then your blog becomes a whole video for YouTube, for example. So that's really cool. There's definitely some really great features that are worth exploring. And another thing I have to say about what I love about it is it's so ridiculously reasonably priced compared to a lot of the others out there. So as you said, there's more and more platforms coming out all the time. So I think what's good about that is that a lot of them are really expensive. So it will bring those prices down. But in video, started off low and they've stayed there, which I think is.
Yeah, I agree totally.
Yeah. So Carmel, if we were to sum it up, what would be your 2 top tips for people giving video a go?
All right. Well, number 1, remember it is not complicated. It's actually not. So my number 1 top tip will be always ask yourself, what's the purpose of the video? What do I want it to do? Do I want people at the end of it to just know something new, or do I want them to take an action? That's the first one. Don't just make videos for the sake of putting a selfie on and you're in the bloody garden or doing whatever. Always, even when I'm in the garden, I will always have a purpose. And number 2 would be just start. Like literally just start. Stop sitting on the fence and going, oh my God, it's too techy, it's too this, I have to have all the equipment. And no, you don't. I was a bit, not quite like your dad, but I have a video camera and I have the lights and the green screen and all that. And I remember filming in the city once and I'm going along. I thought I was like one of these newspaper people or something, news with my little camera. It was this size. And I actually walked past the court in, there was obviously some big court case on or something in Perth, and all the guys are there with their massive cameras. And I was like, okay, no, I don't look. I'm pretty bad. But I don't have to do that anymore. I'm sitting here in my home, in my office, and I can hop on and make it. Like it can be as easy as you decide to make it. So if you're sitting on the fence, just start.
I agree with you on both of those. I just think that's brilliant. And then I'd like to add one more tip to that, which is do it the way that you're comfortable with, but do get uncomfortable too. Like if you always stay in your comfort zone, then you're not ever going to be pushing yourself and trying something new. But that doesn't, and so actually, if you like the look of the lip syncing reels, then give it a go. If you like the dancing challenges and stuff, then give it a go. Just because I don't want to do it doesn't mean anyone else shouldn't. But find a thing that you like, or find the thing that you feel comfortable with, and then just like you said, just do it. Just give it a go.
Just do it. You can always not publish it.
And that's why I don't like lives, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd always rather pre-record it.
That's so funny.
Oh, Carmel, so great to chat with you today. Thank you for sharing your experience and your expertise. And how can people get in touch with you?
Well, Carmel Murphy, I'm all over Facebook, or the Communication Queen. So you can find me on my website, LinkedIn, you can find me all over Facebook, anywhere. I even have a Twitter account. I just don't know how to log into it. I don't do Twitter. But yes, seriously, just Carmel Murphy, and hop on Messenger, just shoot me a message and I'm always happy to help, or hop on a quick call.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Carmel. And
my pleasure.
I'm Ray Allen from Hello Media, and you can find me at hellomedia.team on Facebook and Instagram and all the places. The best place to hang out with me, though, is join the Facebook group, because in there I share weekly algorithm updates and, you know, just bits and pieces that you need to know. So, yeah, good times. I love a good Facebook group. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening and joining in with us. And I look forward to next Friday. I'm back in the hot seat with Jenni, and we're talking about email marketing, but how to be growing that email database. Yeah. So thank you again, Carmel. It was just great to chat with you. I love that we're on the same page with some of that. And everybody make sure you follow her, especially for those turkey updates and in the backyard. I really enjoy it.
No turkey updates close to Christmas. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Very good. Thanks so much. Wonderful to see you. Thanks, everyone.